In this case, what you need to do is f is equal to, I can take f1 by a as common. Okay, if I take f1 by a common means the remaining will be b2 f2. F1 is not there means you need to divide it by f1 minus b1. Okay, therefore f is equal to, in this case we know that f1 by f2 is nothing but e raised to mu theta. Okay, f1 by f2 is nothing but e raised to mu theta. You can substitute that in this equation. If you substitute that equation, therefore f you will get it as f1 divided by a in bracket. Okay, it will be b2 minus b1 into e raised to mu theta. Why? Because I'm taking e raised to mu theta as common. Okay, it will be e raised to mu theta. Okay, now you need to calculate the f1. Okay, once you get the f1, okay, what you have done in the previous problem, okay, you have to substitute that, and after that you are going to get the value of f. Okay, therefore after substituting all those things you will be getting the value of f. Okay, the final equation will be f is equal to tangential force divided by a. You can do it by your own because the whatever the procedure is there, it is same as that of the previous problem, or sorry, the clockwise case. Okay, this is what the final equation you will get, okay, which is there in your data input. It is 13.7, sorry, 13.19, 13.1919 f. Okay, this is for counter clockwise rotation. Now, whatever the equation we have obtained, that is 13.19 f, in this important thing is that uh, while solving the problem, you need to keep in mind that, okay, there is a condition called self-locking. Okay, here you can see that is a note here. No, in this, what do you mean by this self-locking, or when the self-locking takes place in a differential break, differential band break. Okay, in the equation 13.19 f, that is this equation, in this, if b2, whatever the b2 value is there, it is less than or equal to b1 into e raised to mu theta. Okay, at that time whatever the force is there, that force which we are going to obtain, okay, when b2 is less than b1 into e raised to mu theta, at that time whatever the force which we are going to obtain, it will be negative, or it will be equal to 0. Okay, as a result of that, automatically self-locking takes place, means without the application of the brake, okay, without the application of the force, without the application of the force, okay, there will be a self-locking. Means in a layman language, without applying brake, okay, the entire system is locking. Okay, that is the meaning of that. Okay, when the b2 is less than or equal to b1 into e raised to mu theta, at that time self locking takes place, means whatever the force is negative, force is negative, it is nothing but you are not applied any force, or sometimes force will be equal to 0, means you are not applied the brake and there is a braking, means that is called as self locking. Okay, this is the condition when there is a self locking. And as I told you, whatever the force is there, it will be acting upward and downward. Okay, then how you need to solve the problem? In some of the cases, that is in the problem, they might give that the force will be acting downward. Okay, at that time how you need to solve the problem? If the load is acting in the opposite direction, that is we have taken upward, For example, assume that it is acting downward. That is nothing but opposite direction. Then you have to use clockwise relation for counterclockwise rotation. For this counterclockwise, you have to use clockwise relation. Okay, and vice versa. For example, if for clockwise, if the load is acting downward, then you have to use counterclockwise. This is important. When you have to do that, here in this, whatever the relation you have derived, in that force is acting upward. If it is acting downward, at that time, instead of using clockwise rotation, you have to use anti-clockwise or counterclockwise relation. Or in the given problem, for counterclockwise, if the force is acting downward, at that time, you have to use clockwise rotation relationship. This is important when you're going to solve the problem. You have to check the loading, whether it is acting upward or whether it is acting downward. Okay, I will show that in your data input, already data input, how it is there. I think still the page is loading. Yes, now you can see. Yeah, in this case, you can see that the force is acting upward. Okay, whatever the relation we also derived, in that case also it is acting upward. Okay, only you have to take this, whatever the note I have written here, this, okay, you have to take only when the directions are opposite. Okay, instead of upward, if they do give you downward, at that time, don't take clockwise. You have to use for clockwise, you have to use the counterclockwise relation. Similarly, for counterclockwise, if it is acting downward, whatever the relation you have derived, it is when force is acting upward. Okay, for counterclockwise, if the load is acting downward, then you have to use clockwise relation. Okay, this is for solving the problem. Okay, I hope you understood. Or if you have any doubt, you can ask me. I will clarify that and I can take down a problem on this. Do you have any doubt on this? All of you understood? Yes or no? Whether you understood the previous theory part of the differential brake. If you understood, I will take down the problem. Otherwise, I will clarify your doubt and I will take down the problem on this. I'm waiting for your reply. Rohit?
Yes.
Whether you understood?
Yes.
Okay. Other students? Bharat? Bharat
Yes, sir.
Purohit?
Yes, sir.
You understood the previous theory part?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you don't have any doubt, then I will take down a problem on this. Okay. This is the given statement. A band brake shown in figure below. This is the figure of a band brake. Has an angle of contact 260 degree. The angle of contact is 260 degree and is to sustain a torque. Torque is 300 Newton meter. Torque is given, it is 300 Newton meter. The diameter of the drum is 300 mm. The diameter is given, it is 300 mm. Okay, he has asked you to determine the operating force. Okay, you need to find out the operating force means here. That is actuating force or the applied force. F you need to calculate. And he has told that you need to assume the coefficient of friction as 0.25. If it is not given, because in the equation coefficient of friction is there. If it is not given, you need to assume that. And after that, he has asked the tension in the band. Okay, tension in the band is nothing but this is if it is rotating in anti-clockwise. Okay, this will be, you need to see that which is F1 and which is F2. See here, this is rotating in anti-clockwise. Okay, if when it is rotating in anti-clockwise, here you will have a tight side and this will be the slack side. You can see that this is rotating in anti-clockwise direction. At that time, this will be the tight side of the band and this will be the slack side. This is F1, F2. When it is rotating in clockwise direction, when the drum is rotating in clockwise direction, this will be the tight side and this will be the slack side. This is F1 is nothing but tension in tight side and F2 is tension in slack side. This you need to see the figure carefully, then you will understand that. Yeah. Now, in the given problem, it is a counterclockwise. Here you can see that the direction of the rotation clearly has mentioned it is a counterclockwise. If the direction is not mentioned, means you need to solve it by clockwise as well as counterclockwise by both. Okay. Here he has mentioned counterclockwise. Accordingly, you need to take down that. Okay. Now I will write down the given data. Okay. The angle of contact is given theta. Theta is equal to 260 degree. Okay. Convert that into radians. Means you need to multiply that with pi by 180. It will be converted into radians. Okay. If you multiply that, it will be 4.538 radians. After that, next he has given the torque. Torque is equal to 300 Newton meter. Okay. And if you see the remaining dimensions, diameter as well as all the other things, he has given in mm. Okay. For that reason, better you convert this torque into Newton mm. Okay. 1 meter is equal to 1000 mm. This is 300 into 10 raised to 3 Newton mm torque. After that, next is the diameter of the drum is given, and in the figure also it is given. Therefore, D is equal to 300 mm, and coefficient of friction is given mu. It is 0.25. Okay, and if you see the figure, okay, and I need to tell an important thing in the data handbook. I think there is a printing mistake. You can observe this. Where is that? Yeah. Here you can see that. I think whether it is visible or still I need to zoom in this. Yeah. Here you can see that. Here he has mentioned it as B, and here he has taken it as B1. Okay. But when you take down the equation, okay, in this equation, whatever f is there, okay, has given b1, b2. b1 is the distance from fulcrum to the other end of the band, okay, and from fulcrum to the other end of the band, this we have taken it as b2, whereas here it is a printing mistake. This has to be b1. Here, this has to be b1, and this has to be b2. According to that, you will get this relation. This correction you need to make. Don't write this in the data. Remember that there is a slight correction which you need to make. This has to be b1 and this has to be b2. Okay. From this figure F, you can note down this is the A. A is nothing but the distance from fulcrum to the applied load. All these dimensions are given. Okay, you need to note down that. Yeah. Here you can see that this is B1 and this is B2 and this is A. Write down the other datas. A is given, it is 600 mm. B1 is 40 mm, 40 mm, and B2 is given as 160 mm. And first he has asked you to calculate. Okay, first what he has asked you is F. You need to calculate the F here, the operating force. Second, he has asked the tension. Okay, tension is nothing but F1 and F2. Next, second case, he has asked F1, F2. You need to calculate F1, F2. After that, the third one is for what value of B2. Actually, this is B2. Okay. For what value of B2, for what value of B2, or will the brake be self-locking? Okay, you need to find out that. You can find out the value, okay, for self-locking. Okay. This is the B2. Okay, you need to calculate for self-locking condition. Now we'll find out one by one. First I'll find out the force. Okay. Here two methods are there to find out the force. If you see, otherwise I will show both the methods, whichever is convenient for you, you can take down. Okay. In this, how you have obtained the relationship for the actuating force. You have taken the moments. Okay. According to that, you can take down and you can get the required values. Okay. For that reason, I will be taking the moments. Taking moments about the fulcrum, about the fulcrum in, you can see that it is in counterclockwise direction. It is in counterclockwise direction. You see the figure. Counterclockwise, I will take it as positive. Okay. Clockwise, I will take it as negative. Okay. And here you need to see that for counterclockwise, how you need to write down the F1 and F2 direction. Okay, these are nothing but the tension in tight side and slack side. This is for anti-clockwise. This is F1 and F2. Okay, F1 and F2. This is upward. This is F1 and this is F2. Why? Because when it is rotating in anti-clockwise, there will be tension at this end and there will be slack. That's why it is tension in tight side will take it as F1. Tension in slack side will take it as F2. Okay. Now, taking moments about the fulcrum in counterclockwise direction. Therefore, it is F vertical load into perpendicular distance. Vertical load is F multiplied by 600. F into 600. F into 600. Anti-clockwise have taken as positive. F into 600. Okay. And F1 is also rotating in clockwise, anti-clockwise. Means you are taken it as positive. Positive F1 into how much is the distance? Vertical load into perpendicular distance, it is 40. F1 into 40. Here you can see that F2 it is rotating in. Okay, whatever F2 is there, F2 it is rotating in it is rotating in clockwise direction. Clockwise means you will take it as negative minus F2. Okay, into distance. How much is the distance? It is 160 into 160 is equal to 0. Okay, from this F is equal to, therefore F is equal to, take this term to the right hand side. It will be 160 F2 minus 40 F1 divided by 600. Okay. First, he has asked us to calculate the force. Okay, to calculate the force, you should know the tension in tight side and tension in slack side. Means F1, F2, you need to calculate it. Okay, and from the given data, we know that e raised to mu theta. Okay, e raised to mu theta, mu value is also given, theta value is also given. From that, you can substitute both the values. E raised to, what is the mu value? It is given as 0.25. It is 0.25 multiplied by theta. Theta is 4.538. Okay, Okay, from this you're going to get the value of e raised to mu theta. Okay, how much is the value we'll be getting from this? It will be 3.11. Okay, and we know that torque is equal to, torque is nothing but F1 minus F2 into radius. Okay, this is there in your equation 13.13b. From this only you are going to get the value of F1, F2, that you can substitute in this equation. Okay, if you see the given data, torque is given, that's why I have taken this equation. Okay, when torque is given, you can take this equation. It is 300 into 10 raised to 3. 300 into 10 raised to 3 is equal to F1, F2 is not given. Just substitute afterwards. You will be getting the values. Okay, substitute value of R. Diameter is given. Here you can see that diameter is 300. Okay, therefore radius is d by 2. It is 300 by 2 is 150. Therefore, F1 minus F2 is equal to 300 divided into 10 raised to 3 divided by 150. Okay, that you will get it as 2000 Newton. Okay, here also you don't know the values of F1 and F2. Okay, you can use one more relation, that is which you are used in the derivation. Okay, while calculating the actuating force, that is the ratio of tension. You can use that, the ratio of tension. Ratio of tension is nothing but F1 by F2 is equal to e raised to mu theta. Therefore, F1 by F2 is equal to e raised to mu theta. In this, substitute the value of e raised to mu theta. It is 3.11, which you have calculated here, e raised to mu theta. Substitute that and take this term to the right side. Therefore, F1 you will get it as 3.11 into F2. Okay, this value you can substitute in this above equation. Okay, F1 is nothing but 3.11 into F2. You can substitute that in the above equation. Therefore, it will be 3.11 F2 minus F2 is equal to 2000. You can take down F2 as common. Remaining is 3.11 minus 1 minus 1 is equal to 2000. Okay. I think I have erased this. This is F1 minus F2 is equal to 2000. This is F1 by F2 is equal to e raised to mu theta. I substitute the value of e raised to mu theta. Okay, and from this to take this to the right hand side, you'll be getting the value of F1 that I have substituted in this. From this, I will be getting the F2 value. Okay, F2 will be, this will be 2.11. That's 2000 divided by 2.11. Therefore, F2 will be 947.87 Newton. Okay, once you get the F2 value, you can substitute that in this equation to get the F1 value. F1 is nothing but tension in the tight side. F1 is equal to 3.11 into 947.87. From this, F1 is equal to, it will be 2947.87 Newton. Okay, once you get the F1, F2 value, you can substitute that. In this equation. F1, F2 value can substitute in this equation. You will be getting the actuating force. How much is the actuating force? Therefore, F is equal to, I'll be substituting the value. Therefore, F is equal to, substitute the value. This is 160 into F2. F2 is 947.87 minus 40 is there, 40 into minus 40 into F1 divided by 600. F1, just now you have calculated the value. It is 2947.87 divided by 600. From this, you will be getting the actuating force, and that actuating force is 56.24 Newton. Okay, this is first. Second one, he has asked you the second. He has asked you the tensions in the band. Tensions are nothing but tension in the tight side, tension in the slack side. T1, T2. Okay. Oh, sorry, not T1, T2. Here we have taken it as F1, F2. Okay. Already you have calculated that F1. Okay. Already you have calculated the F1, F2. Okay. You can substitute that. Therefore, already you have calculated the value F1. It is 2947.87 Newton. Already I have calculated that. And one more is F2, tension in slack side. It is 947.87 Newton. Okay. As I told you, to find out the force, two methods are there. This is, you can take the moments about the fulcrum and you can calculate that. And one more is directly you can use the formula. Okay, which is that formula F is equal to, okay, it is rotating in anti-clockwise. Okay, anti-clockwise means, yeah, this differential band break. You have to refer figure here. Anti-clockwise or counter-clockwise, you have to use this relation Ft by A, B2 minus B1 into e raised to mu theta. Okay. In this case, you need to find out the tangential force. Okay. And we know that tangential force is nothing but it is the difference. Okay. Ft is nothing but how to find out the tangential force. Okay. You can use the relation Ft is nothing but, or you can see the data in book here. Tangential force is nothing but difference of the tension in tight side and slack side. Means for that also you need to calculate F1 and F2. Okay, you can calculate the values of F1 and F2. Okay, already it is calculated F1 minus F2. The tangential force, whatever the tangential force is there, it is F1 minus F2. Okay, the difference is, that is 2000. Okay, I'll be taking that formula. F is equal to, that is, this is the other method, or method. Okay, therefore F is equal to Ft by A in bracket B2 minus B1, B2 minus B1 into e raised to mu theta divided by e raised to mu theta minus 1. This is there in your data and book. Okay, it is equation 13.19. Think it is F. Okay, it is F. You substitute that, and from this, the force you will be getting, it will be same. Think you can try that. You will be getting the same answer. 56.24 Newton. Without doubt, you have to get the same answer, 100%. You will be getting that. But to do this method also, you need to calculate F1 and F2. Okay. And the third one, last one, he has asked value of B2 for self-locking. You need to calculate the value of B2 for self-locking. What is the condition for self-locking? For self-locking, what is the condition? Can anyone tell me? In the theory, I told you. What is the condition for self-locking? Otherwise, I will show that to you once again. You can see that. See it. For self-locking, whatever the force is there, okay, force has to be negative, means you should not apply the force, and force should be equal to 0. Okay, at that time B2 should be less than B1 into e raised to mu theta. This is the condition when you have to take force is equal to 0. But in our problem, you have calculated the force. How much is the force? Means a person has applied the brake. Okay, he has applied 56.24 Newton of the force. Means he has applied the force. Okay. I cannot take F is equal to 0, means I cannot use this condition. This condition you have to use when F is negative or F is equal to 0. Okay. Instead of that, what I will take, in our case, force is applied means B2 is greater than this or equal to. I can take this condition. If F is equal to 0, at that time you have to take this condition. In our case, force is applied, because of that there is a braking. Okay, that force is 56.24 Newton. Okay, to calculate that B2 value, okay, I will use self-locking condition, that is B2 is greater than or equal to B1 into e raised to mu theta. Okay, now substitute the value of B1. B1 is given as 40 into e raised to mu theta, you calculate it as 3.11. And from this, the B2 value you will be obtaining is 40 into 3, it is 120. 120 to 4 into 1, okay, it will be 124.4 mm. Okay, this is the B2 value. This is how you have to solve. This condition you have to use when F is not equal to 0 or it is not negative. Here our case is F is 56.24. Okay, you have to use the self-locking condition is that when the force is 0 means the person has not applied the brake, or it is negative. Force is negative means the person has not applied the brake, automatically the self-locking takes place, means it is out of control. Okay, therefore F is equal to 0. At that time B2 will be less than or equal to B1 into e raised to mu theta. This is the self-locking condition. If this type of problem is asked in your university exam, means it will be for 10 or 12 marks. If you have any doubts in this, you can ask and clarify.